Upon the announcement of Disney's 7th resort in Abu Dhabi, the Walt Disney Company put on an impressive display filled with celebrity attendees and members of the press from all over the world. But in the days following dazzling fireworks and the sounds of hundreds of drones filling the air, we are now learning much more about this theme park enterprise than when the company first announced the project leading up to their critical earnings call. Let's talk about Disney Abu Dhabi and how this resort will be nothing like Disney has ever done before here on That Park Place.
Disneyland Abu Dhabi celebrates with Ultimate Nighttime Spectacular. Disneyland Abu Dhabi was not yet one day old when this was written, and already it has staged one of Disney's all-time best nighttime spectaculars before an invitation-only crowd. On Yas Island, Disney and Miral commemorated their new partnership with a musical celebration. Grammy winner Steve Sidwell conducted an orchestra of more than 100 members accompanied by a choir. Lang Lang performed on piano, joined by West End star Carrie Ellis, as well as Disney on Broadway's Sonia Balsara and Emirati singer Rashed Al Nuami. The audience enjoyed plenty of fireworks and one very impressive drone display as well. And this person says that they were among the attendees there, but they used 9,000 drones in the performance, which made it for one of the largest drone shows ever. And right here, you could see an image from Miral that gives you a better perspective than was given to the audience, showing just how ridiculous the towering drone swarm really was. Now, Vash, I'm assuming you have got some footage of this to show.
Oh, I always do. Here we go. This is the promotional video that Disney themselves produced and released. You can see some drone shots right there, some slow-mo, some very nice cinematography, and of course a highlight of the celebrities who were there. Some of them you might not recognize, some of them I think you will. Very, very interesting. Apparently, this article that you just read, written by Robert Niles, he also put out an interesting piece afterwards saying how this whole deal came together, at least from his perspective. And apparently they didn't send out invites for this until very, very late in the game. I mean, in some cases, days. And a lot of the media couldn't actually attend because it was so late in the game. Robert Niles being one of the only U.S. reporters actually reporting on this, which is really something. Also, too, you can see Robert Niles' own video right here on the screen right now, available at their YouTube channel, Theme Park Insider, that is. And a lot of festivities actually brought about for this big announcement, obviously the 7th resort and all of that. But I think because of how late in the game this all was, it kind of underpins, I think, a pro's point about this was a last minute decision to kind of save this quarter. I think there's really something to be said about that when you look at the timeline of all of this. Again, right. Not just Miral, but many companies in the Middle East have been looking and trying to convince Disney for decades to try to set up something within this area of the world. Them finally biting right now, I think, says a lot.
You know, I've been hearing from some sources that the Emiratis were planning on this happening. I'll say that. Whether or not Disney was going to say yes to it is a little different. I think there's been maybe a couple of months here where the Emirates were ready for it. Miral specifically is ready for it to happen. Who do you guys think probably paid for this massive spectacular out there in Abu Dhabi?
I'm going to assume Miral.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that it is a star-studded event as opposed to, I don't know, a chintzy social media video in somebody's side office at their house. There's a story that just broke that I want to throw up here real quick. The Miral CEO is saying, by the way, everyone, this is going to be an indoor park. So, most of it is going to be an indoor park. So I think they're. Oh yeah. Well, a lot of the parks over there on Yas Island are indoor parks anyways.
You didn't say it correctly. It's Yas Island.
But if you say it like that, they all look at you funny and maybe you get on a list somewhere. I think this whole thing is going to be really interesting to see because Disney is marketing this as if they scouted the locations and they decided as if they were scouting for their own theme park here, as opposed to someone who has a lot of money saying to Bob Iger, we want to park here, and say, oh, well, what if we move it up? No. We want to park here. Well, we're standing in the water. No, we want to park here. Well, that's going to cost we want to park here. So I think this is something where the money is more important than anything else. As it's been said, the check's clear. The checks never bounce when it comes from these guys, and they expect you to pick up the phone whenever they call, no matter what the situation is. So
and they want you to prioritize them. A lot of people worried about resources being diverted for this project. I think that's a really a very valid concern, just given the expediency by which I think morale is expecting this to be up and running here, especially if they're pulling out big checks. So I think this is very fascinating. It's a great article, by the way. They just found there Jonas talking about the indoor nature of this. We know that the Dubai park that was pitched to Disney back in around 2014 or so, at least that's when the leaks were actually came out around that theme park, had 50% of that park indoors because of the high temperatures related to that. I think you're averaging 105 degrees in the summertime in this region of the world right here. It's very, very important that this be at least comfortable for guests while visiting this theme park.
Also, Marvin, I have some second or third hand confirmation on you had posited a theory that maybe some of the people who would be working on actually physically building the park, maybe some of them wouldn't be very well paid. Maybe they wouldn't
prisoners
care
with jobs.
Prisoners with jobs. Yeah, I think some of that happened on some of the previous Yas Island expansions here. I'll say that. So you can work real fast if you don't care who lives or dies in the building of your theme park here.
And you also have no OSHA, you have no environmental concerns. I mean, all of the red tape that you go through in American construction, none of that exists out there. So yes, they can, they'll put to build that crystal monstrosity in place of a castle, whatever the heck that thing is going to be. One of the things that's often said when American media companies work with these Middle Eastern conglomerates is that, through pop culture, we're bringing American sensibilities to that region. Like WWE loves to spout that when they work with Saudi Arabia. They're like, oh, but look, women get to actually have matches on the shows there now. I'm like, yeah, but they have to be covered from the neck down. So I don't really buy their Americanizing the Middle East. I think it's mostly just you're taking a whole lot of money from very wealthy people.
What they meant is they're converting the Saudi Arabian rial into dollars before they pay Disney.
Bob Iger said this about China too, multiple times actually, that, we can bring our culture to China and hopefully we can, I don't know, democratize our nation or whatever he ended up saying right there. I've heard this line multiple times from multiple places around the world. I think it's a little bit of a farce there. It's just Disney needing cash. They needed cash at this pivotal moment right here. Definitely obfuscates from the earnings call that I think a lot of people were looking at as a potential disaster for the Walt Disney Company. Now, it not only makes the quarter look good, bounces the stock price, but it also positions a key figure, that being Josh Giamaro, as maybe potentially the guy who is going to take over for the Walt Disney Company. And I think that's who Bob Iger actually maybe wants. I mean, he embodies a lot of his qualities right there. Josh Giamaro looks at Bob Iger, as we saw on the pro show last night. With eyes that I don't really see that much in spouses, but okay. I think this is all about positioning, optics, money, and I think the park is almost secondary, which is very interesting.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.